Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are diving into a makeup only trash talk. It's very rare that I have enough to substantiate its own video, but I wanted to just be able to highlight in a briefer format the makeup products in particular that I have finished off. Aside from one of these, which is a declutter, the rest of it is all finished up, so let's go ahead and get started. First thing that I have is the e.l.f. Daily Brush Cleaner. I'm putting this into the makeup category because I use this every single day to spritz off my brushes. I basically spray this and then swirl my brush onto a washcloth that I use as like a makeup only washcloth, and it just helps, one, clean my brushes, but two, remove any pigment and color so that the next day that I apply makeup, they're ready to go. I'm somebody who doesn't have a big surplus of brushes, so if I wasn't doing this and I was trying to do different eyeshadow looks each day, I would struggle to not get my colors all mixed. Plus, I don't know, it just feels a little icky to me to have product buildup. Like, even if I were keeping my concealer brush, which I don't really change my concealer every single day, but not spritzing that each day would like freak me out. So I use this, I like it. The bigger bottles are way better bang for your buck. I picked this up at my local CVS because I didn't want to make a whole e.l.f. order just for this online. So I prefer the bigger bottles, but this got the job done. The next thing that I have is another e.l.f. product. It's the e.l.f. Mix to Match Adjuster in the white shade. This basically is a lightening product. Before I got the tip to try using lighter concealers, was using this as a way to lighten foundations that were basically a hair too dark. There are some brands where their lightest shade is still a little too dark for my skin, and this gives me the ability to still purchase it and use it. What I also like about this compared to using a concealer to mix with is that this doesn't change the level of coverage. Sometimes I find that with a lighter foundation, if I mix it with a concealer, naturally, because it's a concealer, the coverage and just the general way it lays on your face is much heavier. I'm somebody who doesn't have a lot of skin problems that I'm fighting against, that I just prefer more of an evening of my skin with foundation versus a covering of, you know, blemishes or discoloration or things like that. So this I really like for that reason. It's also really cheap. The first company to come out with something like this that I had gotten my hands on was The Body Shop, and that retails for like $20, and the packaging on that pretty much sucks. Makeup Forever, I think, has some kind of mixing medium, but I don't know if it's just straight white. This stuff is $3, so I very much like it. I have another one of these, and I will continue to purchase it as long as I still have foundations that are a little too dark for me. I have another go-to. It's my number 7 Instant Illusion Wrinkle Filler. This takes me about 2 years to use up. What I like about this is it basically is like a silicone or dimethicone that you can pat underneath. I do it underneath my eyes to help fill in my fine lines. I have found that doing that does help ensure that concealer doesn't fall into my fine lines as quickly. It's not 100% foolproof. This mixed with ColourPop's No Filter Concealer, this mixed with the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, I feel like when I pair this with those concealers, it really does help ensure that I don't get that sinkage. I can't change the fact that I have fine lines underneath my eyes. It's just a fact that I'm dealing with. So this does help negate it. I will say that if I forget in the rare instance to put this on, I do notice that my concealer, no matter which brand, which company it is, does sink in a little bit quicker, and that's not super cute. So I will constantly repurchase this, and even though it's, I think, $20, that's $10 per year, not a bad trade-off. Now we come to some primers. I have this Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer Mattifying Primer. Listen, this primer and I did not get along. This thing is, it's soul-sucking. I am not adverse to a mattifying primer, and this time of year I like those types of primers because I tend to get a little bit sweatier. It's really muggy where I live in the Northeast, so even though I'm not necessarily getting oilier, I just tend to be a little bit more sweaty, which can cause your makeup to slide unless you have something mattifying. So I went to pull this out, I put it on my face, literally any moisture on my face just was sucked away. Like, my face felt like I had a clay mask on. It felt like I had a clay mask that had dried down and I just hadn't wiped it off yet. it was, I'm not even gonna lie, nearly painful. So as that was happening, I thought like, well, let me try putting on more of like a dewy foundation. Oh, no. This sucked the dewiness out of that foundation. I literally had to wipe my makeup off. My face was so dry. I don't know. Maybe if you're the oiliest of the oily, this will be your best friend, but it's no joke. It was way too much for me. I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand it on my face. I wouldn't recommend it unless you are the most oily human ever. It just, it's not for me. On the flip side, I used up very lovingly the Beauty Blender The Leveler Pore Minimizing Primer. This, they say it's light to medium. I didn't see any kind of coloration coming off of this, but this to me reminds me of the Professional. I feel like I would purchase whichever one is a better bang for your buck. So I'm not saying I'm going to totally abandon the Professional. I think truthfully I'll probably end up purchasing that one because that one tends to go on sale. But this was decent. I liked this way better than I liked their foundation, and I'm kind of sad that it's gone. It really is that nice pore filling, pore blurring type of primer, and that's really what I'm into. I don't have the biggest pores, but I do find that because I'm not using the most heavy coverage foundations, but by laying down a base that basically helps fill in product, it helps sort of just create this neutralized effect with my lighter coverage foundation. So I like this. I have a mascara. I finished up my L'Oreal Bambi Eye mascara. This one was okay. I feel like I didn't get a ton of use out of this before it started to dry up and flake on me. I liked the effect of it, but I just feel like I went through it too fast. The brush looks like this. I mean, I don't have super difficult lashes to work with, so it doesn't take much for me to like a mascara, but I just feel like because I went through this so quickly, I don't know if I'd want to buy it again. I have a chapstick. This was the Geek Fire Labs Kiss of Deception Apple Spearmint. I did not like this. I don't know. I don't think the apple and spearmint were a cohesive pairing. I feel like the two scents, flavors, whatever you want to call them for a chapstick, competed with each other, and that just wasn't my favorite. But the actual lip balm is nice. This is one of those lip balms where you really feel it for a prolonged period. It's not like a chapstick, which I feel like in 10 minutes, whatever chapstick I've applied has disappeared off of my lips, but this was nice. I just feel like they do weird scent combos, because I had another one of these. I've gotten these from Owl Crate boxes, and the other one that I got was also a weird scent combo, so I don't know if that's just like their thing, but if they had a scent that I liked, I probably would purchase it. And then lastly, we come to my decluttered item. It is the e.l.f. Blush Palette in Light. As you guys know, at the start of this year, I wanted to really scrutinize my highlighter, bronzer, and blush collection. I feel like those collections are a little bit bloated. I'll be real with you, I doubt I'm gonna actually really scrutinize my highlighters. I just love different highlighters. I just love them, but blushes and bronzers definitely need to look through. And so I decided to pull this out. I had already popped out one of the shades I didn't like, and the reason I'm getting rid of this is, one, I don't really reach for these colors. This I feel like is too much of a like baby pink. This one I feel like is a little bit too dark. I don't do a whole lot of looks that would complement this. And then this one, I applied it to my face and I felt like it was difficult to work with. And I have so many blushes that I love whose formula is fabulous that I don't want to fuss. I don't want to fuss with blush, so it made it easy for me to eliminate this. I feel like these were really great when they first came out, but makeup has evolved so much that I don't know how well these compete anymore with the things that I've come to love. Alright guys, that is it for me in this all makeup trash talk. I don't foresee myself having another one of these anytime in the near future because it takes me a long time to use up makeup, but if you like seeing me work on makeup and talk about my thoughts about makeup products exclusively, I suggest you check out my Project Pan videos. I've been doing updates throughout this year. I hope that you're having a great day, and I will talk to you in my next video real soon. Bye.